So yeah, this is gonna be the finished look that I have for Valentine's Day. It's kind of like a pink mauve smoked out eye and a soft mauve lip. So I hope you enjoyed, and maybe you'll rock this for your Valentine's Day. I already have my foundation on and my eyebrows and concealer just for the sake of time, and I'm gonna be using a lot more colors. So I wanted to make sure that I had enough time to kind of go over the technique. I'm first going to be starting with an eyeshadow primer. This is MAC Soft Ochre, and I'm just picking up a little bit on a buffing brush and just going to buff this all over my lid. And I'm just going to take my finger and get it all down to the base and really make sure that's all smoothed out. And then next with this, I'm just going to set this with some flesh tone powder. I'm going to be picking up the lightest color in the Kat Von D palette. The next thing I'm gonna do is pick up some transitional colors and start in my crease. I'm gonna start with MAC Soft Brown, and on a fluffy buffing brush, I'm just gonna start by using small circular motions and putting this into the crease. Next, I'm gonna pick up the color Quarry from MAC, this one right here, and I'm gonna start buffing this right on top of where I put soft brown. And then the last color I'm going to take from this little MAC palette that I have that I created is going to be the color Haux. And just the same thing. I'm really focusing on building the color starting light because I want to do a little bit more of a vibrant look. And when you're using darker, vibrant colors, you want to make sure that you are building color and you're not putting that color down right away. So next I'm going to go into my Lorac Mega Pro palette. It's kind of dirty. This is an oldie but goodie. Has a lot of great vibrant colors in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up on my MAC 224 brush, the color Sorbet, which looks like that right there. And I'm just gonna buff a little bit of that into the crease as well. Okay, and next I'm gonna go in with this pink color, Goji. And I'm just gonna lay this a little bit lower than where I have those other colors and start buffing this in. I'm dragging this color out a little bit on the outer corner just to start getting that shape down that I want to create. Okay, next I'm going to go ahead and take the color Cabernet. It's like a deep plum color, and I'm going to start working this into the outer V of the eye. And this is on my MAC 217 brush. So you can see I'm starting to get that smoky mauve look that I am trying to get. And then the next color that I'm gonna pick up on a smaller little buffing brush is gonna be the color Ash. Ooh, let me make sure you can see that, which is this one right here. And just right over the top of where I place that Cabernet. All right, make sure I'm even. Then I am gonna go in with a little bit more of that soft ochre, just because I want the lid to be really sparkly and I want it to stick out. So I just want to make sure that that is all cleaned up. So I'm just taking a little bit more of that soft ochre primer. I'm just going to pop it right on the inside of the lid. Then I'm going back in that palette and I'm going to pick up the color Peony right here. And I'm going to place that on the lid. And I just picked that up with a flat brush just because I want to make it very dense and sparkly. So I want to place it exactly where I want it. And next, to add some more sparkle, because I want it to be very, very glittery on the lid, I'm going to pick up the color Lovely from ColourPop. And these are my favorite shadows to work with when you want to get that really glam, shimmery look, and they're super affordable. They're like $5, and this is one of my favorite products that I use all the time. So I'm just applying a little bit with the same brush, and then I'm going to go back in with my finger. They tend to work a little bit better with the finger just because you're actually like warming up the product, I feel like. And then I'm going to take this buffing brush and just make sure that this is all blended together. I'm going a little bit more with that right on the inner tear duct for a highlight. And And then one last blend through. Next, I'm going to do my liner. So I have lash extensions right now. When we have lash extensions, you can't use anything with oil in it. And a lot of eyeliners have oil. So I'm going to show you a technique that I use just using shadow that's going to create a liner look, and it's super simple. It's a great way too that you can set your liner. If you are using a gel-based liner, it's going to make it look a little bit more matte and help it be more long wearing. So I'm picking up just a black matte shadow from that same palette on my 266 MAC brush. It's very thin and gives you that really nice precise line. So I like to start in the middle of the eye and start by just dragging that out. Now when I get to the end, I'll take my brush and make sure I don't have too much product on it. And I'm gonna kind of see where I want it to be. I'm gonna place my brush diagonal to the corner of my eye and just lightly start sketching where I want that liner to go. And then I'm going to go back in with some more product, and I'm actually going to connect that wing. And then you have that empty space, and you can just go in and then fill that in with your product. And this technique works too with gel liner. I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing on this side. I'm going to go in a little bit more on this side just to make it even. So the only thing when you're working with powder instead of gel is it's not as always precise looking. So I'm going to go in with some concealer in a second and clean up the edges. So I'm going to pick up some of the full coverage foundation from MAC, but you can use any concealer for this part. I'm just going to pick a little bit up on a flat brush and just sculpt out that edge. Okay. Now picking up some black as well. With that angled brush, I'm going to start by smoking out this lower lash line. So just stamping it close as you can. And then we're going to buff this out. And I'm going to pick up some of that color haux, and I'm going to buff this out with a flat edge brush. And I'm going to take that blending brush and just lightly I'm going to add a little bit, I want to add just a little bit more of that pink goji color underneath as well with that flat eyeliner brush. Picking up some black eyeliner. This is Feline from MAC. I'm just going to place this in the waterline. And then some mascara on these bottom lashes. Okay, for my contour, I'm going to be going into the Kat Von D palette. I'm going to be picking up a little bit of the middle shade and the first shade. The middle shade's almost gone in my palette, but these are my two favorite powder colors for contouring. And I'm gonna start, oh, I need to fix my foundation first because it's kind of coming off. So I'm just gonna buff that out real quick. All right, I'm gonna start with those two colors and start from the top of my ear and start buffing it down to the corner of my mouth. Then taking a little bit of powder. This is the Studio Fix Perfection powder. I'm just gonna set underneath that and make sure that that is gonna be a little bit more carved out. So I'm taking that on a damp beauty blender, just damping right underneath. And picking up a little bit of bronzer. This is Give Me Sun from MAC. I'm just gonna rub a little bit on the top of my forehead. And then I'm going to be picking up some blush. This is Desert Rose from MAC. It's just a really pretty pink mauve color. And place that right on top. Then I'm going to be taking some highlight. This is the Extra Dimension Skin Finish and Beaming Blush. This was one of the last highlight products that came out when I was working at MAC, and I'm obsessed with the whole line. They're all super pretty, and they're like duochrome, so they reflect more than one color, and I'm obsessed. And I'm going to be taking a little bit of that color on a flat brush, and I'm just going to use that to highlight underneath my brow bone. And go ahead and start dusting this powder off. And then last but not least, I'm going to get started on my lip color. I'm going to be starting with just some primer. And then I'm going in with some lip liner. This is the color Soar from MAC. And then I'm going to go in with this color Captive from MAC. It's like a really pretty mauve color. Definitely something that's really popular on bridal and kind of like an everyday look. So it's a good one to have in your kit. Then last but not least, I'm going to give myself a spray to set my makeup. This is Fix Plus. So yeah, this is going to be the finished look that I have for Valentine's Day. It's kind of like a pink mauve smoked out eye and a soft mauve lip. So I hope you enjoyed, and maybe you'll rock this for your Valentine's Day.